Good morning, everyone. So today, what we're going to discuss is one of theories of human development. We have the Vygotsky social cultural theory. Before natin simulan ang ating topic, let us hear first the quotation from Let Vygotsky. He stated that what a child can do in cooperation today, tomorrow she or he will be able to do alone. So what does it mean? Basically, the word cooperation means with help, guidance, and assistance of other people. Halimbawa, tinuturuan mo ang isang bata na maglakad at tinulungan mo siyang gawin ito. Therefore, sooner or later, magagawa na niyang maglakad mag-isa. Which makes sense kasi doing things with children teaches them to become independent adult. So, let's proceed to the objectives of our topic. First is to explain how Lev Vygotsky developed his theory to identify the different views of Piaget theory and Vygotsky theory in cognitive development, to emphasize the role of social interaction, cultural factors, and language as the central idea of social cultural theory, to explain the concept of zone of proximal development. So we have keywords here, the social interaction. Social interaction is the key theme of Vygotsky theory as it plays an important role in cognitive development. He believed that individual could not be understood without looking into the social and cultural context within which development happens. So naniniwala si Vygotsky na ang way para ma-develop ang ating cognitive aspects is through social and cultural context. So, why social? Social because we need to interact with other people to gain knowledge and skills. And for cultural naman ay tungkol sa beliefs, attitudes, and language natin. We need to consider cultural context or factors kasi nakaka-apekto ito sa cognitive development ng isang tao. So, another keyword here, scaffolding, is Vygotsky term for the appropriate assistance given by the teacher to assist the learner accomplish a task. Basically, ang scaffolding ay nangyayari habang tinuturuan or tinutulungan mo ang isang bata. Isa itong klase ng pagtuturo na hinahayaan mo ding may matutunan ang isang bata. Anyways, I will briefly explain it later on. So, first and foremost, we need to know first who is Lev Vygotsky. So when Vygotsky was a young boy, he was educated under a teacher who used the Socratic method. This method was a systematic question and answer approach that allows Vygotsky to examine current thinking and practice higher levels of understanding. This experience, together with his interest in literature and his work as a teacher, led him to recognize social interaction and language as the two central factors in cognitive development. His theory became known as the sociocultural theory of development. So, at a young age, na-expose na si Vygotsky sa Socratic method of learning, which means a debate approach between teachers and students. So, ang reason kung bakit niya nagawa ang kanyang theory is based sa karanasan niya at sa interest niya. And also, because he used to be a teacher. Ang theory ni Lev Vygotsky about cognitive development in children is known as the social cultural theory of development. The idea of his theory is para malaman natin kung paano natututo ang mga bata in social environment. It's all about social learning. So, Vygotsky worked on his theory around the same time as Piaget in between 1920s and 30s, but they had clear differences in their views about cognitive development. So, i-compare natin ang pagkakaiba ng idea nila. And I hope na aalala nyo pa ang theory ni John Piaget about cognitive development para mas madali natin maintindihan. So, the first one is Piaget. His theory is more individual in focus. It means the develop depends on the learner. While Vygotsky theory is social in focus because the development of a learner is based from social interaction. So next from Piaget is believed that there are universal stages of cognitive development. So Piaget believed in uniform progress from a learner. At a certain stage, remember the four basic cognitive development and four stages of cognitive development ni Piaget. Para sa kanya, natututo ang mga bata step by step, while Vygotsky did not propose stages but emphasize the cultural factors in cognitive development. He only focused on cultural factors. That's why he is going to stress the role of language in cognitive development, while Piaget did not give much emphasis on language. So let's proceed to the social interactions. Vygotsky emphasized that effective learning happens through participation in social activities, which is true. Kasi according to Vygotsky, malaki ang contribution ng social interaction sa cognitive development ng isang bata, including in social environment and social experiences. Parents, teachers, and other adults in the learner's environment all contribute to the process. Their function to explain, model, assess, give directions, and provide feedback to learners. At school, teachers ang nagpro-provide ng new learnings and new experiences sa mga bata. While sa bahay naman, the immediate family, ang mga bata, ang mga tao na laging nakakasalamuhan ng bata dapat magturo sa kanila ng mga unang bagay na dapat matutunan nila. Peers cooperate and collaborate and enrich the learning experiences. Peers is what we call friends. Friends at school, friends at home ay pwede makatulong para mas mapadali ang proseso ng development ng isang bata. The more they interact kasi same age nila. The more na-curious sila sa mga bagay-bagay na dapat nila matutunan. So, let's proceed to the cultural factors. Vygotsky believed in the cultural role that Vygotsky believed in the crucial role that culture played on the cognitive development of children. Vygotsky looked into the wide range of experiences that a culture will give to a child. So, what are the cultural factors that influence the development of children? When we say cultural factors, it's all about beliefs, language, and cultural backgrounds. Ito yung mga nakakaapekto sa bata, especially sa kanilang cognitive development. The more the wider the culture is, the more the children were going to learn. Like for example, how a child is raised or trained in early life can contribute to the development of the cognition of the child. It means kapag ang bata daw ay mas maagang natuturuan at natuto agad, din mas mahahasa at eventually magagawa na niya ng maayos in the future. Another example is in Islamic views. Mas better na habang maaga pa ay sinasanay at tinuturuan na ang mga bata about sa Islam. At a young age, dapat marunong ng masambay at yung iba pinag-aaral pa sa Arabic school para mas matuto. Ang ganitong klaseng pagtuturo sa bata ay tinatawag na tartilya. Ginagawa ito for the sake of children para hindi mawala ang paniniwala nila sa Diyos at para mas lumakas pa ang kanilang iman pag lumaki sila. So, next is the language. Language can be viewed as a verbal expression of cultures. It opens the door for learners to acquire knowledge others already have. It helps the learner regulate and reflect on his own thinking. So, we all know that language is a part of social interactions and cultural factors. Also, it is important in terms of learning because tinuturuan tayo at natuto tayo through language. Language serves a social function which is we use it to start a conversation and interest with people. Mas madaling matututo ang isang bata kung tinuturuan mo ito habang kinakausap dahil mas madali kanilang maintindihan. Also language as an important individual function, which is it opens the door for learners to acquire knowledge that others already have it. Helps helps the learner to regulate and reflect on his own thinking. So we talk to ourselves, also children to talk to themselves. So di ba kapag naglalaro ang mga bata, the usual talk to herself, kinakausap nila ang sarili nila. For example, sasabihin nila, gagawin ko itong airplane at ito naman ang airport. For Vygotsky, it is called talking to oneself. Is an indication of the thinking that goes on the mind of the child. Naglalaro sila mag-isa habang sinasabi nila kung ano ang nasa isip nila. At ito ang tinatawag na private speech. So, private speech is a form of self-talk that guides the child thinking and action. Ang private speech ay nakakabuti sa mga bata para mas maintindihan ang kanilang ginagawa, and also it allows us to hear and know kung ano nga ba ang nasa isip nila, kung hanggang saan umaabot ang kanilang imagination at paano ito makakaapekto sa kilos nila. For example, may paper plane na hawak si Maya at sinabi niya na papaliparin ko itong paper plane at aabot ito sa sanga ng puno. Kapag nagawa na niya paliparin ang paper plane, hahabulin at sisigaw pa niya para i-cheer ang paper plane. So, that is private speech. Okay, now what are the learning activities na pwede sa mga bata para mas ma-develop ang sarili nila? So, here children best through hands-on activities than when listening passively. Children effectively learn through experiences, therefore mas advisable not let the children experience things outside the world. Hayaan nating maglaro sila sa labas at mag-participate sa mga field trip ng school para mas marami pa silang matutunan. Huwag natin hayaan na makulong lang sila sa bahay or sa kwarto habang naglalaro ng online games dahil hindi ito nakakatulong sa kanila. And remember the saying is experience is the best teacher in life. Also, we have learning by doing. Learning by doing made fruitful when children interact with the knowledgeable adults and peers. Mas matuto ang mga bata sa experiences nila kapag may kasama sila na nagpapaintindi sa mga bagong kaalaman nila sa buhay. Also, mas masaya ang experiences nila kapag may kasama silang nagtututo. So, as you can see in the picture, there are three zones. So, ang unang bilog or what we call zone is the ZAD, which means what I can learn on my own or what the children can learn on his own. As I said earlier, when you say zone of actual development, ito lang ang kayang gawin ng bata mag-isa. While the second zone ay ang zone of proximal development, which is kayang gawin ng bata with the help of MKO or knowledgeable others, and the last zone is the beyond the range of a child, which is maa-accomplish lang ito pagkatapos ng proseso ng ZAD at ZPD. In short, ito na yung kinakalabasan. Another example here is kapag nasa dagat ang isang bata, ang una niyang gawin at ang kaya niya lang gawin ay ang magtampisaw sa dagat, and that is ZAD. Next naman is pag hinikayat mo siya na mas mag-explore sa dagat, eventually with your help, unti-unti na siyang matututo paano lumangoy, and that is the zone of proximal development. Therefore, sooner or later, an outcome or ang development na mangyayari ay magiging magaling na siyang lumangoy mag-isa kasi tinulungan at tinuruan mo siya kung paano, and that is the concept of zone of proximal development. Last but not the least is the scaffolding. So, what is scaffolding? Scaffolding, giving the right amount of assistance and bridging the gap between the learner's current skill levels and the desired skill level. So, ang scaffolding ay tungkol sa temporary support na galing sa MKO or more knowledgeable others na binibigay sa mga bata para magsilbi gabay para matuto mag-isa. Scaffolding is way to make sure na matututo ang bata. Hindi yung tinuturuan mo sila but then wala silang natutunan. For example, tinulungan mo ang kapatid mo na isuot ang isang tsinelas niya. So, hayaan mo siyang mismo magsuot ng kabilang tsinelas niya para matuto siya. Another example is kapag may pagkain at binigyan mo siya, hayaan mo rin siya na mismo kumuha ng pagkain sa kamay mo. When the MKO scaffolds the process, moves in 4 levels. First, I do, you watch. I do, you help. You do, I help. You do, I watch. So you see, tuturuan natin sila ng mga bagay through showing them how and let them do the rest. So that is the theory of Lev Vygotsky about sociocultural development. The idea of his theory shows us that we humans develop because of the social and cultural context that we are exposed to. So, salamat sa mga naminaw, unta, nakasabot mo or unta na amoy na sabtan. Thank you.